Hi, my name is Antonis and I'm the painter in this video. Today you will see me studying Simone Martini, an Italian painter of the early Renaissance, and he's almost a Byzantine iconographer in the way he's building the forms and painting the light in his paintings. And it was a process where I had to think of how to gild the background of this icon. The original icon is heavily decorated with gold ornaments, and I had to think how to produce an icon with a similar effect. So I'm using this acrylic ball here that is definitely helping me with etching some decorative elements on the background. And I'm also it will also give me the opportunity to make some three-dimensional, let's say, decorations. As you see here, the bowl, when used unthinned, it can keep its volume, and this is very helpful, as you see here. So I'm adding these little heart shapes of decorations on the background, and it might seem sloppy a little bit, but really the final result is very satisfying. And although this is not a burnished gold, it still is very beautiful. Now, when we burnish the gold leaves, we can have this mirror-like effect on the icons. I'm not very sure this way of decorating an icon is useful for the viewer to pray. It's definitely very spectacular and impressive, and it creates these icons that are more objects of luxury, let's say, than objects for praying and for partaking in the church life. So I'm doing these decorations, as you see, as closer to the original as possible, and then I'm starting by painting some areas on the gold leaf. As you see here, I'm using ox gall to have the paint stay on the gold leaf. Now, if you want to see the whole process, it's a long process that took me several hours to finish this study. If you want to see the whole process, you can find the lessons on my Patreon page. And here I'm start painting the face of Archangel Michael, and using egg tempera, of course, on a panel that is prepared with rabbit skin glue gesso. I will first paint the facial features with a black color. Then I will add several layers of what we call proplasmos. I believe that the Italian term is verdaccio. It's the way to build the volume, the forms of light and shadow on this greenish base color. First we add the shadows as best we can, and then gradually we build the light. Now it's very important to find the right hue for this verdaccio, the right transparency as well, and it can be tricky, but it will give us a very elegant, very nice result. Here I've already applied 3 layers of this verdaccio, and I adjust each layer according to how I want this to look. Now, of course, much of this process requires some practice and requires some critical thinking on the part of the iconographer, of the painter. There are, the recipes, but for the most part, it's more of a matter of observing the reference photo, the icon that we study, and trying to achieve a very similar result. So we have to really observe the original painting and ask questions to ourselves like, okay, how can I achieve such a transparency? How can I achieve a tone that is that its value is such and such, and questions like that. Or of course, what kind of color can give me this similar effect that I see on the original painting. So anyway, here I have already painted the facial features on the face above the Verdaccio, and now I'm proceeding with painting a first layer of light on the face of Archangel Gabriel. Now, see how transparent these colors that I'm using are. Of course, the layers that I've used prior to this are very thin as well. They allow the transparency, and you can see the gesso shining through the proplasmos, the Verdaccio here, and something that is very, very important for beginner iconographers or even more accomplished. I often see professional iconographers to paint with very thick, very flat colors. Here we are required to learn how to use transparency and to learn to be familiar with using transparent color in a way that doesn't harm the underneath layers. So little by little, it requires a lot of patience, some time for each layer to dry and thus be stable. Let me just say, for this final painting of Saint Gabriel, I've used approximately 15 to 17 layers of color, to the point where if I added any more layers, the whole painting would collapse. It would flake away. So make sure you understand the properties of thin colors. Make sure you understand how to gently and delicately use the brush in a way that will create this very, very thinly essenced qualities on the painting that no thick color can give you. I'm using now this blending in between colors, in between the first light and the greenish color of the Verdaccio base color. And again, I'm also taking advantage of the consistency of my color to create even more soft and more nice in between blendings. So see how important the handle of the brush is, how we require a relatively soft, natural bristle brush that is suitable for watercolor almost, and how delicately we have to use the brush, almost as if we caress the icon with the tip of our brush. Here, make sure that you don't insist too much on a specific place, that you apply the color and then you proceed, you move on. Thus, we will not harm the underneath layers. And of course, you can be even more delicate than what I'm doing here, with even thinner and finer brush strokes that can barely be visible. when we are, I see many iconographers studying Byzantine icons, and Byzantine icons are, as you know, they don't much care about naturalism, and this is the nature of the Byzantine painting tradition, and thus it can be easier for many students to start learning iconography, but this easy, let's say, forms of the Byzantine tradition doesn't really help the students to realize how deep they can go in iconography, and how iconography is not just step one. Hi, I'm Antonis, and I'm proud to present you my online course in iconography, Paint an Icon with Me. This course will help you become a better iconographer, and it will help you be more confident when talking and presenting your artwork. It will make you understand in depth the studio practices of a professional iconographer like me, and you will get accustomed to what great iconography looks like. So learn in a simple and organized way everything you need about the materials, mediums, and techniques in order to make a beautiful icon. Paint with me the icon of Christ, and learn how to paint better any icon you wish. I will see you at the studio. Step 2, step 3 that we follow, we do accomplish an icon, and that's that, but it's something much more complicated. It's a tradition that requires a lot of understanding of how colors and how materials behave. Of course, we need to understand drawing and to understand the forms and everything, but also to doubt about what we paint, and if something comes as very easily, something that we think it's easy, we have to be suspicious that we are not on the right path. The Byzantine painting has a lot of depth, and I'm almost disappointed by how many students just finish an icon or two, and they believe they are master iconographers, and they are happy with that. They don't search for learning anything else. They are not practicing in the spirit of a student, and this is very important. I am in the field of iconography from 1992, and still I feel that I know very little, and I'm not an accomplished at all iconographer. I am always in the spirit of a student when I sit before my easel, so I encourage you to do the same. And if there is something you can take from this video, is exactly that: to always try for something more, always try to understand your materials, and always try for something better, because no matter how accomplished you are, there is always a space for more. Whether this is about the materials, or your drawing skills, or your handling your colors, etc. I want to thank you all so much for your presence, your beautiful comments. I hope this video, although short, will inspire you to paint in this spirit of a student, and try to push yourself into learning more and more. You can find, of course, my full course on iconography on teachable.com. You will see a link below, and so many lessons on iconography on my Patreon page, where I'll try to teach as best as I can everything I know about this sacred art. So here you see the almost finished face of Archangel Archangel Gabriel here, and I would never accomplish this effect if I didn't use these very subtle, very thin down layers of egg tempera. So make sure that you will use these thin colors in your paintings. So anyway, again, thank you so much for your comments and for your support on Patreon. And I will see you soon. Be creative, healthy, and full of joy. Bye.